Hello from a very hot London. We basically we went up to my in-laws last weekend, and it was really hot. It was lovely. It was still really cool in the evening, but it was like beautiful sunny weather during the day. I literally got a tan after just being in a garden for a couple of days, and then we came back and it kind of got a bit chilly again. And now this weekend, woohoo! It's 29 degrees today, and for this early in June, I was not expecting to. I mean, again, we barely got a spring, and we've literally gone into high heat summer almost immediately. So it's a weird mixture this week because I've had the chilly days, the really hot days now, and then like the kind of just temperate, pretty days. But let's start with one that I wore on one of the much hotter days. So this is Ted Baker W, and this is one of the early reviews, I think, on my channel. I got this from Direct Cosmetics as a tester bottle, and I think it was about a fiver. And I think they're still there for a fiver. I've still never found a cap that fits this blooming thing, and I actually like this bottle, so I really wish I had one of the caps that fit it. I'm always it's madness just for a cap, but I'm kind of tempted maybe one day to just see if I can get one for like crazy cheap again and just literally just use it for the cap. That is a bit mad, isn't it? I don't know, I might be able to get one on eBay. But anyway, because it's exactly my kind of thing. Look, it's such a cool shape, and I love the colour. And the colour of this juice, if you can see, very pale pink, is pretty much exactly what this perfume smells like to me. It's like a pale pink, pretty, light, really good high heat summery floral perfume. It is actually a fruity floral, but because this is, to me, is a violet perfume, so I think the violet in it, even though I think it's probably equally raspberry and violet, because it's violet, it's got that kind of zingy floral vibe about it. There's peony in this as well. So the notes here, top notes, African violet, Parma violet, fig leaf and peony. Middle notes, cassis, raspberry, orchid. Base notes, cedar and vanilla. You don't get tons of vanilla. You don't get tons of cedar. I don't get a huge amount of orchid. I get a lot of raspberry. I get some cassis. I think the fig leaf is like a slight greenness running through this, which makes it kind of interesting, but maybe not necessarily like to everyone's taste, but I definitely get violet. And the peony, I think, is just a kind of slightly sharp, watery kind of pink sweetness going on here, if you see what I mean. It's definitely got a sharpness here though, and it doesn't smell massively expensive, but there's just something about it that I really like. And it's one of those ones that sometimes I think, am I going to actually declutter this, or am I going to keep it, because it's not the most expensive smelling perfume, but then I sniff it and I'm like, I can't ever get rid of this. I actually love this perfume in like a really weird, only want to wear it once in a while kind of way. But it just smells so pink. It's really soft. It's not in any way fluffy. It's very crisp. And like I said, it's got that slight sharpness to it that you often get with like violet perfumes. But I just sort of love it. And I find it's one that I find kind of hard to explain why I like it so much. But I do really like that one. Like I said, a very watery raspberry, like cassis, slightly green violet perfume to me. And then, so that was on one of the hotter days. This was kind of a hot but not 29 degrees day. This is Love by Lush. The colour of the juice is kind of, again, what it smells like in a way, because this is like a kind of slightly herbaceous but very tangy, sweet but also acidic, appley perfume, like citrusy and appley. It has lemongrass in it, so it's quite hard to describe. Some people call this an apple pie. I'm not sure I'd go that far. I think there's too much lemon and too much lemongrass for it to literally smell like an apple pie, but it does smell like a baked apple. Like the apple in it smells like a baked apple without too much sugar. So notes here are lemongrass, cinnamon, lemon, bergamot, jasmine, rose, ylang ylang and apple. And the votes here have lemongrass at the top, And then it's got cinnamon, lemon, and then apple. And I don't really agree with that. I think this is very much lemon. Oh, in fact, I'd be tempted to put apple at the top here. I think when you first spray it, definitely more lemongrass. But as soon as this dries down, I get a lot of apple. So I get apple, lemongrass, and lemon. I get just a hint of the cinnamon that just kind of gives it this warmth. And then I don't get jasmine more than I get rose and ylang ylang here. I think they're all really kind of equal. And it's just a very slight floral vibe. It's definitely more fruity than it is floral. But this is so lovely in warm weather, in the same way that I think there's something lovely about it because it's apple and cinnamon in cooler weather. I just think it's lovely. I think Love is a good... It should literally be called Lovely, but they're not allowed, I guess, because there's already Sarah Jessica Parker's Lovely. But I think it's great. I think it's a really good perfume. I like it a lot. Let's see, what else did I try? Okay, let's talk about this beast. So... if you saw my short, you'll have seen that I got some of the Monotheme perfumes. I got one from eBay and I've got, I think, 4 from Makeup UK. Now, some of these I did smell in Marks and Spencer's, so they weren't necessarily complete blind buys. I hadn't worn them, I just sniffed them. And that's because I'd seen them on makeup.co.uk. And like, this was one that was like it was $7.99 or something. And there was another one that was just like, I mean, unfortunately, they've all sold out, but keep an eye because they keep coming back in and then going out again. But there were a few that I wanted that I couldn't get hold of, so I ordered something possibly similar. And then there was just some that were such a bargain, I decided to try them. And then I got the Cherry Blossom one from eBay because that's the one that initially made me interested in Monotheme, Venezia. So this one, does it say anything on the back? It says a rich and creamy fragrance instantly transport the mind to a garden of radiant blooms. This refined, heart-warming bouquet is an embracing creation conveying freshness generated by the citrusy nuances in the top notes that exalt precious spring flowers. Soft, seductive base notes create a romance. I mean, it doesn't really say what's in it, which is weird. So this is the bottle. Very nice. They're not very strong and the longevity is not great. They are closer... Even though I think they're supposed to be Eau de Toilette. What does this say on the box? Yeah, Eau de Toilette. So they're supposed to be Eau de Toilette. I think these actually wear a little bit closer to my Aqua Colonias, you know. So it's a bit more like a cologne spray to me. But, okay, so my feelings about Bloom. If you watch me, you'll know what I mean when I say it smells a bit like a Lancôme perfume, a little bit like a Lancôme Musk. It's got something in it that I find very sharp and screechy. I get a lot of citruses with this. I don't find it massively floral. I think that it's very tangy. The thing is, if it didn't have that screechy kind of Lancôme smell to it, I would probably quite like this because it is very much fruity floral. It's a citrusy floral. Can I tell you what florals are in it? I mean, it's got a picture of a rose, and I think it probably has got a rose. It's probably got magnolia. I'm sure there's jasmine. And I can see that on some people this would be very pretty. The more it dries down on the card, the more I like it. But on my skin, it gets this real, like, knife through the head sharpness to it, which I can't get along with. And I have to say, having now smelt 5 of the Monotheme perfumes, they have a very specific house DNA. Like, there's something in it that smells almost exactly the same as the other ones I've got that do not smell anything like it, if that makes sense. Like, so there's like an underlying base going on here that I can definitely smell in the Cherry Blossom one, the Nymphea one, and the other one that I've got, Camellia. They've all got something in them that smells the same. They're not all screechy. This one I can't deal with. There's something in it that's like really head-splittingly sharp on me. But I will talk more about the others because there's a couple I actually really like. And there's some that I don't like. I think this is the only one that I really dislike, and typically it's the one that I actually wore, and I wore it out of the house. Thankfully, it doesn't last very long, so I was like, okay, I can deal with it. But yeah, I mean, I'm not entirely convinced yet, except for the fact that I think I'd really like to try more of the ones in the orange bottles, because I couldn't actually get the one that I tried in Marks and Spencer's, and that's the one I really wanted. But the other one I've got is also kind of beautiful, so Okay, moving on. I just got the urge to. This is another one weirdly like the Ted Baker. I was like really thinking about decluttering it. I wasn't sure, but then I loved the bottle, and then weirdly I just sort of get a craving to wear it every now and again. And I wore this really recently, but now I can see it. Now I can actually see the bottle because it's in my display. I just really wanted to wear it again, and I was like, that's so weird that I don't know, like I genuinely hadn't worn it for like a year, and now I've worn it twice, like within a month. So yeah, really strange. I just really got the urge for that kind of honeyed caramelly smell, and it was on like one of the colder days, so I thought, right, I'll take advantage of this. I'm just gonna chuck this on. So yeah, this is Kim Kardashian Pure Honey. This is, like I said last time, it's kind of available again now. It's like not as difficult to find. I mean, I'm pretty sure that it's not being produced anymore, but it's kind of started popping up again on the cheaper websites. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a really good one if you want to feel kind of sweet and cozy. I did the poll about what people like to wear in summer, and a lot of people like to wear sweet and creamy perfume. So I would say that if you like sweet and creamy perfumes in hot weather, this is so good. It's really nice. If you don't like honeysuckle, or you have a problem with honey, or you just don't like sweet citruses, then maybe not so much, because I think this is like, so notes in this. Top notes, freesia, mandarin orange, red rose. Middle notes, beeswax, honey, honeysuckle and orchid. Base notes, coconut, vanilla and musk. So yeah, if you don't like kind of mandarin-y type smells, maybe not. But I think this is just such an easy reach if you like sweet perfumes and you want to wear them in hot weather, because it's pretty light. I mean, it really doesn't actually last for a particularly long time, and it's not particularly strong. It's a good summer sweet one. I'm just like, yeah, I was kind of surprised. So let's move on. This is becoming like my easy reach for a girly sweet perfume. I talked about this last time as well. This is Bruno Banani. This is Woman's Best, and I took this up with me for the garden party at my in-laws, and I was just like, well, I was wearing like a summery garden party style floral dress. I wanted to smell sweet. I wanted to smell girly. I didn't want to take a massive bottle with me. But I wanted to take something like that isn't going to like overwhelm people, because there was like, I think there was maybe like 20 people in the garden. So I was like, okay, I just want to smell nice. So I took this one up, and it's just so easy. It's genuinely so easy to wear. I highly recommend this as well to people who want a sweet perfume, but, you know, want to wear it in really high heat, because it performs better and it smells stronger and sweeter and nicer in hot weather. So that's just a really good option. Now, the notes in that are top notes of peach, orange, pink, grapefruit. Middle notes, sorbet, pear, rose, pomegranate blossom. Base notes, panna cotta, wild berries and sandalwood. My husband told me how nice I smelt when I was wearing this, and I had I mean, I would say that the way that this smells to me, and what I think of it as now, because I now know that it's much better to wear in hot weather, it's my pear and berry sorbet panna cotta perfume, if that makes sense. Like, there's definitely some rose in there. I can definitely smell that, and I can smell the pomegranate blossom a little bit. But it's definitely panna cotta, pear and sorbet, and like that, and it's like a blueberry sorbet, it smells like to me. So I just think it's yummy. I really like that one. Actually, maybe I can push that all the way over here. Let me just try and rejig things a little bit without actually blinding everyone. Bloom. So, okay, then to work. One of the days I was at work, I had a bit of time off this week. It was nice. I wore Florever by Agatha, Ruiz de la Prada. This is the time of year to be smelling like a delicious tea perfume. Absolutely love this perfume. It's so good. Top notes, yuzu, tea. Not yuzu tea, but yuzu and tea. Middle notes, wildflowers, magnolia, ginger, pink pepper. Base notes, musk, hinoki wood, cedar and amber. I can smell the hinoki wood, I can smell the musk, I can smell tea. I would say it is some kind of, I'm not sure that this is green tea. It smells more like maybe like a black tea to me. I don't know, actually. I'm not sure about this one. If anyone smelt it, tell me what kind of tea you think might be in here. It doesn't have anything specific, but it's absolutely scrumptious. So it's definitely got a noticeable yuzu, but it's not at all sharp. And I can smell ginger. I can smell... I mean, the wildflowers, I would say, definitely include some kind of jasmine. This smells like like a softer, fluffier, less kind of tart and austere version of Still by Jennifer Lopez. So I think it's absolutely beautiful. I love this weird bottle. I absolutely love Florever. I think it's genius. It's such a pleasure to wear that one. Again, it doesn't have the lasting power of Still at all, but I think it's absolutely lovely. I really like that one. That was such a happy day when I blind bought that and I got it home. Oh my goodness. So before I talk about all the little tiny sample things, this is a random but joyous one. So I'm just going to find have I actually got the notes? Let me have a little look here. Oh goodness, where did I... here we go. Oh, that's because there aren't notes for this. Right. On Fragrantica. So this here is Moringa from the Body Shop. Now, I've had this in my list to test out for ages, and the reason that I've wanted to smell this one is because it is compared to Ananya, which is an old Body Shop perfume I had in the 90s. I really liked that one. It used to have a very pink label, looked super 90s. There was a oil of it, but there was also a spray of it, and me and all my friends had that perfume. So it's very sad that they discontinued it, and I was like, well, this is supposed to smell like it, I'm going to go and smell it. Now I have Elena by Al Rahab, which is an oil that is a dupe of the original Ananya, and this does indeed smell like Ananya. It's not exactly the same. Moringa definitely isn't exactly the same, but it definitely smells enough like Ananya to make me quite happy. Ananya is a really weird perfume, quite hard to explain. It is what I've decided to call it, because I have quite a few perfumes that are in this vein. It's like a tangy floral. It's this is a tangy floral. Unfortunately, it goes screechy on me. This is definitely a tangy floral. It doesn't list any notes. I don't know what's supposed to be in it. But it really does smell like my memory of Ananya, and it does smell like a less peachy version of Elena by Al Rahab. Now, I will talk about my Al Rahab oils at some point, but to be honest with you, I don't ever really get on very well. I've only got one. I love their green tea. It doesn't actually smell like... It just smells like a citrus perfume. It doesn't smell like a green tea perfume to me. But I really like that one. I can wear it very happily. I will be pulling it out this summer. But everything else I've tried from them, I think smells so horribly synthetic. I just cannot... I have had to give up. It's not because with the Tafa, I can't wear it because of that kind of... that weird tar smell that I get. That kind of synthetic wood smell that might be a musk, might be a wood. I don't know. It's not that. They just smell weird, all of them, even if at first I like them, and even if at first I can recognise they do smell like something that's being duped. When they dry down, they get super weird. I've got the dupe for Poison, I've got the dupe for Amarige, I've got the dupe for Ananya. Ananya, when I first smell it from the roller, I'm like, okay, so the one called Elena, it definitely reminds me very, very powerfully, and it does smell like the old Ananya. But then when it dries down, it gets super weird, like really unpleasant, cloying and strange. This is like a kind of toned down version of that, a more floral version of the old Ananya. I think I'm probably going to do a video that's literally called Tangy Florals, because as soon as I thought about it, I was like, I've actually got loads of tangy florals, like properly tangy florals. So here we have the list of what's in Ananya, because I actually think that this is a reworking of Ananya. I think it smells like a reworking of Ananya. Anyone who has this and loved Ananya, can you tell me what you think? I'm really interested to know if other people like agree with me. So the notes of Ananya are top notes of peach, melon, violet, coconut and bergamot. Middle notes are tuberose, ylang ylang, jasmine, freesia and rose. Base notes are sandalwood, musk, vanilla and cedar. Now, definitely tuberose. 100% there's tuberose in this perfume. There's definitely peach in it. There's definitely ylang ylang. I think there's definitely freesia. Let me just give... Yeah. Oh, it's musky. There's definitely sandalwood. But there's definitely tuberose in this. I can tell. It really, really... And it also reminds me a little bit of... what's it called? Another Lush perfume. Keep It Fluffy. So Keep It Fluffy is another tangy floral that I have, and that one is a combination of rose, jasmine and ylang ylang, with the ylang ylang being like higher up in the mix, but that's got fruits in it as well, like a fruity vibe to it, so it's like tangy. So I'm quite excited to have this because it really felt nostalgic to me smelling it. I genuinely think that it's just a classic banger. Like, I think it really smells like the 90s. I think if you, like me, are kind of someone who enjoyed Ananya back in the day, it's definitely worth checking out Moringa. Unfortunately, as with all the Body Shop perfumes nowadays, they don't last at all. Like, this one... It's definitely a skin scent after about an hour, but it's definitely pretty. I really like it. I mean, I got it, I bought it literally because, well, I went in to smell it and I was like, yes, please. And then they had a sale on when I went in. I literally got it on, when did I get it? Friday. So I must have been wearing this on Friday. No, I got it on Thursday. So I was wearing it on Thursday night. And I was like, okay, yeah, I mean, it was a tenner. I'm going to have it for a tenner. I mean, it's worth it for a tenner. Nostalgia. So yeah, that is... a real nice surprise, to be honest. I think it's a really good one, and yeah, I highly recommend it if you wish you could get your hands on an Ananya. It's not identical, but it's like I said, like a slightly less peachy version, I think. Now, oh my god, it's just I think it's my all-time favorite perfume in history. So Skin Musk, you can see I've had to refill my tiny little roller ball, so this is getting really low, but fear not, I have backups of this. Absolutely have to have backups of Skin Musk. It's like the best thing in the world. So I was wearing Florever on Friday to work, and then I got home and it was my husband's birthday, so it was also really hot. I'd initially thought that I was going to wear Lolita Lempicka Le Parfum because my husband actually outright just told me that he thinks that smells sexy. And I gave him the Lolita Homme the little carded sample, and he thinks that smells sexy as well. So we can be like a couple both smelling like sexy licorice together, you know what I mean? But anyway, so he just told me when he smelt it, he was like, I said, I don't know how to describe it, but it's sexy. And I was like, nice. So my plan was to wear that, and then it was way too hot. It was way too hot last night. It was like 28 degrees. It was 24 degrees in our flat, and I was like, that is too strong, syrupy and sweet for me. And I'm not even talking about Mon Premier, I'm talking about Le Parfum, which isn't as sweet as Mon Premier. I was like, no, I can't do that one tonight. And so I was thinking, what am I going to put on for like his birthday night where, birthday treats and all the rest of it. So I put on Skin Musk because he loves how I smell in this, and he gets right up in my neck. He'll always tell me how amazing I smell when I'm wearing this. He will always nuzzle or growl at me if I've got Skin Musk on, like depending on the mood. If it's like a nighttime cuddle mood, it will be nuzzles. If it's anything else, he will growl at me when I'm wearing Skin Musk. It's just sweet, sexy, musky, clean, soapy skin, and men seem to like soapy fragrances, and I don't mean shampooy fragrances, not sharp screechy ones. Smooth, soft, sweet bar soap style musks. That's why I think people say that Versace Crystal Noir is sexy, and he's told me that he liked that before, because I think, again, it's like a soapy musk. He likes a fruity musk on me often, but he really likes this one. This is the perfume that I wear probably more than any other in my collection, because I wear it a lot at night. I don't talk about it every week, but I wear it pretty much every week at some point, in the same way I use Twilight by Lush on my sheets every week, like at some point. Although at the moment I'm using my Clean Eau Fresh, my lavender and fresh laundry, because it's so hot. I'm going to be wearing that one again soon because it is actually getting so hot. But anyway, I love Skin Musk. They only list sandalwood, musk and floral notes. I really struggle to say what florals are in this, but it's creamy, so it's probably rose, ylang ylang. There's nothing kind of screechy white floral going on here. There's definitely vanilla in this, 100%. But it's a golden musk. It's a warm, beautiful musk. I can wear it any time of year. Sneak peek, I'm wearing it again today. I wore something else this morning, and then I was just like, when I was doing this again, I was like, oh God, I've got to put it on again. I love it so much. So yeah, I just adore Skin Musk. I think it's a masterpiece, and it's so cheap. It's criminal. So, okay, what am I going to talk about? Oh yeah. Now, when it was cold weather, and actually on the same day that I ended up wearing this one, I was at home and it was chilly, and I'd made the decision, and I'm waiting for them to arrive, and they're taking their sweet time with even dispatching it, to be honest, which is annoying because it's expensive. I decided to buy the Viktoria Minya travel pen set, which I think I said when I was doing my rose perfumes. I really, really, really want lots of the Viktoria Minya perfumes. I really like them. She's only got a small amount, but they came back in to Scent City, which is a UK site. The 5-piece travel set came back in, and there was a discount code. So I thought, right, I used my eBay sales and the little bit of money. Thank you so much, by the way, for the people who have bought me a coffee on my Buy Me a Coffee page, because that came through into my bank account, and that went towards my travel set of these. I'm not turning niche, I promise you. I just have a real soft spot for Viktoria Minya because I used to, for a while, wear Hedonist Cassis as my signature scent back when I didn't have like such a big collection. And I've wanted it back ever since. And when I got that, I got quite a few of these little samples, and I absolutely adored all of them. So this is Eau de Hongrie. And this is the one that comes in such an amazing bottle. It looks like a little, looks like a tiny, teeny, what's it called? Like a little wine bottle, because this has Tokja wine. I haven't said that right. I know I haven't, but it's got basically a sweet kind of dessert Hungarian wine in it, and it's amazing, and it's warm and pretty. And actually, transitioning from, I was wearing this throughout the day, and then I chuck this on in the evening once this is worn off, because realistically this is not the sort of perfume I'm going to wear when it gets warm. And as the day went on, it got warmer and warmer, and then I was like, okay, once this wore off, I was like, I'm not going to put that back on because it's too like autumnal for me. But yeah, so the notes in this, oh my god, it's so pretty. It's another honey fragrance, which is why I moved. I think, like, I just looked over at my little display and saw this and was like, yep. So let's have a look. Oh, so beautiful. So Eau de Hongrie, they haven't got the top, middle and base listed here, but I'll just read what Fragrantica says. Honey, Tokja wine, jasmine, immortelle, tonka beans, sandalwood, clove, musk, grapefruit, lemon, labdanum. It is so beautiful. It's a honeyed, a warm honeyed kind of floral scent. I mean, the labdanum gives it a very slight smokiness, but it's just, I don't know how to describe it. It's just kind of magical. In the colder weather, I love it so much. I'm really looking forward to having a little pen spray size of this. I'm also going to get it means I will have Hedonist Cassis back in my collection, which is very exciting. I will have Hedonist Rose, which I am so psyched to have because I have a little sample of that and I've been like nursing it for years because I love it. And as you know, I don't really spend that kind of money. I don't spend loads of money on perfumes, but if I'm getting a 5-piece set, I'm all good for it. I've never smelt Hedonist Iris, so I'm super excited about having that one. And I've never smelt the original Hedonist, and I'm really excited about that too. That gets compared to this, so if it smells anything like this, I'm going to love it. But again, it will be for cold weather. The other joy about that is with Scent City, you can choose your own like sample decants that you get with it, like these little things. So I've asked for the Hedonist Rose Absolute, I think, and the Hedonist Iris Absolute. So yeah, I'm gonna have like seven perfumes to talk to you about when I do that review, but yeah, Viktoria Minya, she's very niche, and I would say like really quite expensive for me, but not expensive if you kind of like, Francis Kirk de Jean and what's the house that everyone goes mad for in those really beautiful bottles that does Lyra and is it Dolce Amalfi? I can't remember the name, but everyone's mad for them. So anyway, so love it, just beautiful. And then the other thing that I took with me, because I made my video last week at the same time as, well, basically I think on the day that I was going up to Cambridgeshire. So I was wearing clean, Simply Clean on that day, because I just wanted to smell like fresh laundry, smell really clean. I had like a nice white shirt and some like really lovely polka dot wide leg trousers. I was just feeling like this is a good clean girl aesthetic going on here. So let's go for that. I took up with me this one for the garden party day, and then I just wanted I just thought I'm just going to take this up because it's so tiny. And I knew I was going to be in a car. We were getting a lift because all the trains were buggered. So I took up this little thing of white tea vanilla orchid, because I have 3 of these little guys. And I just love this perfume. If I didn't already have perfumes that smell like this, specifically my Goji and Cactus, is it Goji Cactus, from Aqua Colonia, and Prerogative Ego by Britney Spears, it's got that exact kind of scent profile to it. But if I didn't have those, I would definitely buy a bottle of this. It's so interesting because it's the only one I'd never got to smell in store. But it might be like, apart from the ginger lily, it might be my favourite white tea. Like, I can't believe it, but I'm just going to spray it. It's so pretty. It's sweet and pretty. Again, if you like sweet perfumes in high heat, but obviously you don't want to like make other people around you feel sick, or you don't want to feel sick, or you want something that's not heavy but you still want that lovely sweetness, white tea vanilla orchid is delicious. It's so nice. Let me have a look and see, did I actually think to get the notes for this? Here it is. Okay, so of white tea vanilla orchid, which is so much better than I ever imagined it would be. Top notes: quince, bergamot, elemi and lemon. Middle notes: vanilla orchid, white tea, gardenia and jasmine. Base notes: vanilla, musk, amberwood, orris, ambrette. It's just so deliciously sweet, but it's not necessarily horribly sweet in like a super crazy vanilla way. It's a slightly custardy vanilla, definitely got vanilla orchid, which gives it even more sweetness. The elemi makes it kind of creamy and sweet, I think, because that's the same thing that's in some of my CK perfumes. I think that one's in Obsessed, which has like a real kind of sweet, creamy, smooth, kind of skin musky kind of smell. And this has that same vibe. You can smell that there's tea in it, but it's not massively strong. The amberwood in this is really nice as well, like, and it's not overwhelming. Slightly soft from that orris root. Just a very slight irisy kind of vibe from that, but honestly, it's basically vanilla orchid and a slight fruitiness, I'm not sure I'd be able to pick out what fruits were in this, like, once it's dried down. It's so pretty. Like, there is definitely a part of my brain that's like, you should get this, but I really don't need it, because it really, like I said, it's got the same kind of profile of a lot of things I've got. But I think it's delicious. It's one of the best things from the white tea range, and I was just like super surprised about that. I was not expecting that to be the case. But anyway, highly recommend white tea vanilla orchid. I think it's excellent if you like sweet perfumes in high heat. So the last thing to talk about, I have really been going on today, haven't I? I was hoping this would be a short one, but just whittering on. So I just decided, I was thinking about tea perfumes again, and I remembered that Libre Eau de Toilette has a jasmine tea note in it, and I thought, oh, that sounds interesting. And then I was thinking to myself, I've got the Louvre dupe of the original Libre, right? Now, all of the Libres are just too strong for me. They're so strong. I know a lot of people like that in the perfumes, right? Especially if you're paying prices, but I don't mean strong as in it just lasts a long time. I mean, it is like intensely strong in a kind of, in the way that perfumes used to be, like in the 80s. It's that strong, all of them that I've smelled. And the reason I like the Libre one is because I feel like it almost feels like an Eau de Toilette version of that perfume. It's lighter, it's fresher, it's like a thinner, it's more transparent. Therefore, I find it much easier to wear, and I quite like that one. It's like a grown-up, soapy boss lady smell. It's very orange blossom heavy, obviously, but the vanilla in it I think is a really good level. So I just thought it would be really interesting to smell this one because it has that jasmine tea note. So this says, it's going on about, it says, the iconic structure of Libre, tension between lavender from France and orange blossom from Morocco, blah, 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 blah. Pure white tea accord. So this says a pure white tea accord. On Fragrantica it says jasmine tea. So let's have a look at the Fragrantica notes and see what they're saying about this. So the top notes are lavender, bergamot and mandarin orange. Middle notes orange blossom, jasmine tea and jasmine. Base notes musk, vanilla and ambergris. So are we to assume that maybe this is wrong and this is actually just a white tea, because jasmine tea isn't made with white tea? So let's have a little... Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to spray this out. I've got to make sure I do it when my fan's not blowing in my face, because despite this being an eau de toilette, it's still really strong. I mean, I have to say, you're getting value for money with the Libre perfumes, because unlike, basically Versace perfumes, all of the ones that I've smelled in modern days, well, no, that's rude. I always say that I don't like any Versaces, but I do really like Crystal Noir, the modern version of the EDP and the old formulation of the EDT. I like that perfume. It is quite strong. It lasts for quite a long time compared to all the other Versaces, but it's not strong the way that Libre is. Oh my god, Libre is like crazy. So, and the bottle, I mean, I do love the Libre bottles. Part of me wishes that I liked them, because I sometimes see the Libre perfumes for really affordable prices. I've seen one for 35 quid before, and if I liked it enough, I'd definitely like that bottle in my collection. But wow, this is still so strong. There is so much, I mean, it's just so much orange blossom, and because this one has a fresher vibe to it, it's definitely sharper. It's got a more piercing kind of smell about it, and it's got way less vanilla, so it is much fresher. Obviously this is going to be way better in kind of warmer weather than the original, which might become really cloying. I can smell lavender still, but it's just fully choked by the orange blossom. The orange blossom in this and all the Libres is such a beast. And the jasmine is really the jasmine in this, I would say, is ever so slightly screechy, and I think when mixed with that kind of more eau de toilette-y, lighter kind of... Was there citrus in this? Oh yes, yeah, definitely a bit more citrusy. There's more bergamot in this. So this is still, even though it's no eau de toilette, this is still too strong and soapy for me. This is actually moving a little bit into the shampoo range, you know? Yeah, it's definitely slightly shampoo-y to me. Whereas the other one smells a bit more like a bar soap. So it's a bit... Yeah, I would never be able to wear this, but I do appreciate it. And I feel like that about a lot of the Libre perfumes. I kind of like the general scent profile, but I just can't really wear them, you know? They're just too strong. They're too perfumey. They're a little bit... And I won't say that they're too mature, because I am a 42-year-old woman. But compared to what I normally wear, because I like kind of lighter perfumes generally, they're just too strong for me. But I totally understand why people love Libre at the same time. So that is my week. I've got another declutter coming up, and I can't remember what I've got up for Wednesday. It might be a haul, but I've got a few things planned that I need to record, and obviously, like, it's just finding the time at the moment, to be honest. June is my bit, like, it's up there with Christmas for my busiest month, because my husband's birthday, both of my nephew's birthday, my sister's birthday, my dad's birthday, and then on top of everything else, also Father's Day. So it's just like, I'm traveling to all the different families, and I'm spending all the money on the presents, and I'm just busy. So I will get around as quickly as possible to making all the videos that I keep saying I'm going to make, but there's still loads of stuff. I think I've probably got a haul or something coming up this week. So I hope everyone had a lovely week. If you've got any of these, tell me what you think. Particularly, I'm really interested in if you've got Moringa. Am I even saying that right? I don't know how else I'd say it. But if anyone else has that, and if you used to have an Anya, let me know, because I'm just like super interested in finding out like whether everyone else thinks it smells like an Anya as well, and if it kind of plugs that hole in everyone's hearts, you know, when they got rid of an Anya. Okay, all right, bye guys.